We are joined by Dr. Gregory Joe Bledsoe and Mama Naasira and Ageela, who will be talking to us about healthy relationship, obviously, and also nutritional aspect of that. Good morning to you both. Good to have you here in our studios. I hope nobody's asking you to eat vegetables, though.
Well, it's a pleasure being here.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just go ahead and introduce my wife.
Yes.
She has a long list, so usually I have to write it down.
Yes, I can.
She has an AA degree from the Library Tech Department at City College, San Francisco. She has a BA from New College of California. She's been a vegetarian for 26 years and a vegan for 24.
Oh, wow.
An entrepreneur of 40 years, a health advocate. She's a mother of 3, and she's the executive director of the SpicyTasty Vegan Institute, 9 years now, here in the Gambia.
Wow.
Wow.
What an introduction.
Yes, and thank you so much, my lovely husband. My husband is Dr. Gregory Joe Bledsoe, affectionately known as Dr. Joe.
Okay.
He's a native of California. He also is a graduate from San Jose State University and also a graduate from Hastings Law of the School of San Francisco. He's also a Steps for Peace recipient. He's been a vegetarian for 20 years and a vegan for 30 years. He is also a writer, a musician, and a producer.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, no, I feel like I need my husband here as well so I can introduce him. See, I can feel the atmosphere. It's so full of love, laughter, and light. So with this wonderful introduction of Mr. and Mrs., tell us, what does a healthy relationship mean to you in the spiritual aspect, emotionally, all of that? What does it mean to you?
Well, it means success, but you got to put in your work. So my wife and I, we've mapped out the Big 10. These are 10 things that will lead to a successful relationship, at least it has for us. Then we'll talk about the nutritional aspect, and lastly, the spiritual. And we'll try to get this done in the time frame. So help us out. Number 1, you have to love yourself. If you're broken and you go into a relationship, you can't expect that person to fix you.
Yeah.
So you have to work on yourself first, or be in the process of working on yourself. Number 2, you got to be friends. You know, if you want a good relationship, you got to have somebody you can kick it with and do things with and laugh.
Yeah.
And communication. You've got to be able to communicate, and effectively. When we mean communication, we're talking about responding and not being one that just, when it comes, you react. So by responding, if she says something that's kind of crazy or whatever, I don't jump on it. I just take a deep breath, and I may want to tell her that when you said that, it made me feel this way.
Yeah.
And it's not attacking them.
Yeah.
So that's communications. Now, within communications, we're talking about trust. And my wife can tell you about trust.
Okay, wow. It's beautiful. He's covered a lot. My experience of relationships and love, I've always been a person that believe in love and understanding and trusting as well. I have been married 3 times, and that is because I don't like to really work alone. I like to work in partnership.
Yeah.
Communication is very important. I've always believed in striving to my highest degree of education or travel, just being the best person as myself. But I also like to communicate with the partnership in terms of responsibilities. Also, because I'm a chef and I have been cooking probably 50 years of my life. So you need help in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So, when you have a partner that eats the same, And because I have always been into eating, because I had an experience of getting sick when I was 19. I was working in the medical field as a phlebotomist, drawing blood, as a lab tech, and I drew a patient's blood, and the patient jumped, and I was stuck with the needle. And because I came from a home where my mama didn't work and my father was a carpenter, so we ate really well because she cooked. But going to college, I was eating in the restaurants, and during 1971, they brought in McDonald's and and the food tastes good, but to learn that once the food is cold, it's thrown away because it's processing. So my husband is really good with helping me around the house with my studies, whatever is required. So I really appreciate having a partnership.
And that's when common goals come in place. And shared responsibility. See, my mother, she told me when I was younger, she said, these modern girls, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to do nothing. Boy, if the electric sharpener with a can opener were to break, both of y'all may starve. So you better learn how to wash, how to change the baby, how to clean, how to do all of those things that make a household complete. So that's shared responsibility. And the others, we say it 3 times. Compromise. Compromise. Compromise.
It's very important in marriage.
And patience. Please allow the other person an opportunity to make mistakes, because we are all traveling on this path of growth. So have patience with them, and they'll have patience with you. Now, in terms of the communication, make sure you compliment the person you're with. Compliment them often. And it's just like anything. Whatever you focus on, that's the more you get. So when you compliment them about what they do,
when
how
you water
they
the
do
plant, it grows beautiful.
There you go. There you go. Then we have keep others out of your business. Your stuff is your business. Now, you know, if you tell it to somebody else, it could become something else and become the monster that none of you can control. Okay? And lastly, me time. It's important that you take time to yourself. Time to yourself. Now, Mom and I, we talked about relationships with men and women. And in our book, Mom and I, we are co-authors of 3 books. This is the number one on Amazon, number 1 bestseller on health and nutrition. And in chapter 5, I have most men are slow. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, it's an attitude that one would have where they're unaware, unconscious, disconnected to the values of others. In other words, they just see it the way they see it.
Not much self-aware kind of.
Yes, ma'am. And not only that, some of us are so slow we don't even know we're slow. And if you came up in America like me, we were taught that program. We had Santa Claus. We had Easter egg bunnies. We had white men being white. And then we were told that man was superior to a woman. Well, a man can carry certain things heavy, you know, for a certain amount of time. It's all relative. But if there's any superiority, it kind of ends there. Because a woman, when she's born, she possesses a more effective immune system. And so therefore, she's able to fight off things faster than we can, and a quicker recovery time. Male babies, they die more of them the first year than females, and more women live past 100. And in terms of just something that everyone might want to know, if you look at the overall body size of a person, a woman's brain is 25% heavier than a man's. You're talking about the cerebral cortex, those nerve endings that deal with multitasking, pain management.
Like normally in our African society, they would say a woman grows more mature than a man. 2 kids can be at the age of 2 or the age of 5, but you tend to see that the 5-year-old girl is way mature at that age than the male counterpart, which has been. And you also said something earlier on, which is about communication, which I think is very important in relationship, especially healthy communication, which is one thing that people tend to rule out, the healthy part. Because when we talk about communication, it's not just about communicating, like you said. You need to be able to understand the other person, where they're coming from without judging. I should be able to listen to you, and you should be able to listen to me, so we can come at a common goal. It's not like we're fighting against each other, but we are, you know, trying to come to a solution and just maintain what we have built, than destroying that in the means of communicating. You can communicate to build, but again, you can communicate to destroy without you realizing it. So that is why healthy relationship in relationships, it's very, very important, and I think many people overlook that sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also, we're not necessarily trained, you know, to be able to communicate with the spouse. You have to learn, and years really make a difference in that. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I would say in my book, it takes about 50 years before the average man begins to mature. 50 years.
50,
And
wow.
I didn't say mature, I said begins.
Yeah.
And also, I do know that I raised 3 sons, and with the father. And I know for a fact that I wanted sons. And it was because when I was in college, a lot of the men were challenged. And I felt like, oh, that's too bad, you know, the mother wasn't available to give them that foundation. So that's what I did with my children. I gave them that foundation, and it also took a lot of the stress off of the man, because I was willing to be the best and give them the best skills possible.
Now, I think it's important men understand that women can lower their blood pressure a lot faster than we can. And because of the way they're designed, don't argue with the woman. Please don't fight. You don't fight fair. You guys will bring up stuff from way out where, and we get all upset. You lower your blood pressure. Why are you raising your voice? What's wrong? You know you're going to have a heart attack or stroke. And it is true.
Yeah.
We men, we have more heart attacks. We have more strokes. We have more gout. We have laundry list of things. Because you have a greater lung capacity than we have, and the list goes on. Now, those are part of appreciating and also getting a balance, because the man also has the part that he plays.
And also the woman. You know, you're really good with that one man thing. This is now a time for women. You know, there was a time that women actually, we were first. There were no women, no men at the time. So we created this man. And when there were times when we couldn't do things, a man could do it because we trained him, okay? And when the man learned everything, it seemed like he stepped up to the game of life and he ruled. But now this is a time, 2026, this is our time. This is our time to get out there and do what we required that we weren't able to do. And I feel grateful. I let my husband know a lot, because he's one of these men that he's very, very strong in his belief system. And we're the opposite. I'm a Capricorn and he's a Cancer. So
Astrology,
you know, and I'm really, really into, I know a lot because I studied astrology. So when I'm connected with him, I already knew, let him do his thing. But when it's time for me to step up to the game, he backs down, you know, because he knows.
I know what side the bread and the butter go on, and also I work for food, and I'm very good worker.
We'll come to the astrology part, which I think is also a bit important, though it's in a different way. But now let's come back to nutrition, because I can say, like, you have authored like 3 books, SpicyTasty, Vegan, Cuisine, which is almost the same. Eat your way to a healthy life. So coming back to that, nutrition is often overlooked, you know, in relationship health. How does what we eat affect our mood, our energy in relationship, not just marriage, but with families, with friends, in your workplace, and everything that you do, your interaction with people?
Right. Okay. Nutrition was important because I had gotten ill. So the one thing that I had to do while in college and working, I had to cut back on my schedule. Why? Because I had to prepare food. And so my method in the book is you prepare food. The first day of the week is Sunday. You prepare enough food for the week. And that way, for me, I could go to work with all of my food and I'm not bothered about having to go look for food. And no, all my food was there. So it's very important to introduce that to your children, you know, and others. You know, we've helped many people.
Yeah.
Well, I also think it's important to eat wholesome as best as you can, because when you eat foods that are not alkaline, like fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, those things, then it's the acid stuff. And your body has really a challenge working through that. In fact, if you eat those things that are unwholesome, your body has to take the nutrients from the minerals in your body to neutralize that. And over time, that can end up with weaker bones like osteoporosis and other problems. But if you know and work together on making sure that you root out those things that aren't so good for you, then you'll have a better relationship, because you and I both know it's hard to be romantic if you're constipated and your feet hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
Quite right.
Yeah, and also I've learned that nutrition is important. We weren't educated properly about it.
Yeah.
In America, we have just about every fruit, vegetables, supplements, and being here in the Gambia, I really miss that, because I have to order from the UK, you know, red coat, and they bring it here to the Gambia. And I can tell that not having those things, it really makes it difficult for you as you continue to mature.
Yeah.
Because as being a woman, you know, when you have children, you know, you lose a lot of your iron and your calcium. So we have to now, our body doesn't necessarily replenish that, so we have to do it.
We have to.
So this
Because
is
even
what
after your menstrual cycle,
Yes.
sometimes you need that
you need the
nutrients
extra,
to rebuild itself again.
That's right, and it's good to take calcium. I mean, I had a doctor to tell me when I was in my 40s, when I asked for calcium, he said, you don't need it because you still, I said, no, I need it now, because when I turn 60, I'm going to have challenges if I have not built it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important.
And also looking at the Gambia, it's a very deep religious society, whereby we're really connected with families, with friends. It's very small, but that triangle of connection is always there. When it comes to the values of patience, respect, forgiveness, and compassion, how do you think this can be strengthened within our society as well?
Well, I have done what we call the healthy, wealthy, and wise. And it uses two principles. One is gratitude, because the more you give thanks for what you have, the more you're given to be thankful for it. And the other is forgiveness. You can't truly heal unless you forgive, because forgiveness takes place on a cellular level also. And when you forgive, it's like lifting weight off your shoulders, and you kind of rise. And you do, because your perspective is a lot different. But that we have for you. It's online, just like our books are in Timbuktu.
Okay,
Those things
Timbuktu
you
here.
can get.
Yeah, Gary.
Oh, and also we've been working with chefs, Gambians, Liberians, Nigerians, here in our home.
Okay.
So we have learned, and plus I practice Islam, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muslim, nice.
So therefore, with the Islam, it's different here in the Gambia, because this is a Muslim country. You know, they have the foundation, whereas in America, we've just been learning, and I can say that America is pretty conscious when it comes to it. But the one thing that Gambia has going for themselves is you still have the older traditional family. You know, the culture. You know, the youngest one take care of the mom. Everyone, they travel out here to other countries. They don't forget their family. It was like that in the 1950s and 60s in America. Because I remember working at the university, and an older guy was saying on his payday, I have to send money to my mother to the South.
Yeah.
You know, so we have gone away from it because of colonization and different type of experience that happens to a country. You know, when Yahya Jammeh was in position, I remember when we were here, how the country was cleaner, you know, consciousness in so many ways, where now it's just more or less like the whole world But we're all going to bring this back together.
Well, we've been, especially Mama Naasira, with our SpicyTasty Vegan Institute. We've given out, it will be about 50 certificates. We have 3 more to go before we leave.
Okay.
And we make sure that all of them is promised that whatever they learn, they spread it to their family, those in the compound and neighbor, so it becomes a rippling effect in terms of planting the seeds.
Yeah.
And I would say that we were a success because we've been in business to go out of business, which means you set it up, you teach people, you give out food for little or no or discount, and when people stop coming, they've either got it
Yeah.
or they not ready for it. So you move on. And I would say in the 9 years that we've had the school, yes, we've made a difference.
All right. Well, it's very important making a difference because now in the Gambia also we have the national dietary guidelines in terms of healthy eating here and there because we have realized that with the importation of processed food here and there, like you said, so many diseases are on the rise, like high blood pressure, diabetes here and there. But with this guideline as well and with books like this, hopefully that can help people with healthy ways of eating as well. So in that regards as well, we have the hotel school here, which deals about cooking as well. Do you work
Yes,
with
we
them
work
as
with
well
them. We've
to
been
share
there.
this?
Yeah, we shared the knowledge with them and the Gambian Fajara
Okay.
School Center. We
All right.
assisted their students.
Yeah, I think the student part, because I did foods and nutrition back in high school. So maybe a simpler version of this, probably you would like to work with the Ministry of Education, you know, to just add this into the school curriculums as well.
Perhaps when we get back, we have to leave. We've been here and we've
10
more or
years.
less exhausted our
Oh,
money.
you're not coming back?
Yes, we're coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, because we paid stipends for all of the people who've gotten the certificates, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, advanced training. And we would like to have a what we call a picking up all the trash and all recycling center. But we can't do it until we go back to get the money to do so. And Mama would like
And
to
I would
have
like the health food store here so that you don't have to shop online.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we can, like for instance, I'm going to be leaving. And I asked the chefs, I said, would you like to go to someone else because you have the skills? One said no. She said, I cannot go to anyone else because I'm used to you. In other words, she has all the knowledge. So I'm going to talk to her today and see if she wants to start the business with the school. And once we are getting more established in San Francisco, I can send her support.
Okay. Because shopping online sometimes can be really challenging, especially in the
is.
Gambia.
It
so
is, very.
I think having the physical store as well will make
It's
things
so much better.
easier for so
well,
many chefs.
lastly, if we could just use some tips on survival here.
Yeah.
Number one, the ground nut. The skin of the ground nut is more nutritious than the ground nut itself.
Oh,
So if you're
okay.
going to eat it together. Okay?
Because it's more starch.
Yes, starchy, you're headed to diabetes. You don't want to do that. Also, if you are going to, if you just got to eat, put the oils in there. Stay away from those vegetable oils because, yes, they do sound healthy. The corn, the canola, all of those clear things, they didn't get that way unless they were processed, okay? Also, you have, stay away from, if you can, the white sugar. You know, I know there's a tire here, and we have videos you go
Yeah.
online, but basically if you can substitute that for things like your dates that you
Yeah,
have,
dates, yeah.
you can not only just your dates,
Honey.
you can use your honey, you can use your what is that, never die seed. Okay, you chew that up and then eat it.
And the
put it-
moringa as
yes,
well.
it's effervescent and it's sweet. If you have to do it, just things that you can. And microwave, once you put your food in the microwave oven, it kills about 95% of all the nutrients. So
wow.
you're eating dead food, basically. And your body, once again, has to take the nutrients from the minerals in your body to neutralize it so you can assimilate it.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. I never knew about the microwave part. I'm a big
it's
fan
in
of
the
doing
book.
that.
The book, you know, you definitely, we have one to donate to this.
Oh,
young
yes, we
lady.
do.
We can donate one to you.
Okay.
We have to a few of the employees here in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, so That's the one that has the all
Well,
the
maybe we can even
recipes.
have some of your videos because earlier on we normally have the breakfast segment before starting our program. Well, I know both of you are vegetarians, and today we had Afra in the morning, but it was prepared in a very healthy way from the
what's
studio because some
important.
just roasted without the oil and the onions, you know, with the mustard as well. So the nutritional value is still there as well.
Well, I have a suggestion. Since we know most of our ministers here, they get paid per diem, and they have to meet a place to eat, why not substitute that food to a healthier way? That's not displacing the people that cook. You just have them do it a different way.
What way would you suggest?
Spicy, tasty,
Spicy.
vegan
There
cuisine.
are 50 gluten-free, no soy recipes. There are
Yeah.
recipes there. And you can take the recipe as we do.
Well, sometimes I would say in the Gambia, it's not like people do not want to eat a very healthy meal. Looking at the price hike and also access to certain food becomes a problem. Because I remember there was one time that I was like, you know what, I'm not going to eat anything, just vegetables at night here and there. But trust me, even if you're a working class woman or a man, it's hard to maintain that.
It
You can
is.
do it for months, but trust me, at some point you just have to deviate your way around, and that makes it really challenging for so many people out there. I know many people want to become vegetarians or many people want to eat healthy, but sometimes again it's the kind of society that we find ourselves in. You know?
Right. Well, you know, what I have brought to my staff, my students' attention is when we eat the rice, we add some greens on top of it. You know, it's about balance.
Okay,
Whatever
balance,
you
right.
eat, I mean, even if you eat meat, because as a vegetarian raising my children, I would get probably chicken and cut it up in small parts and stir fry it with the vegetables and then have the rice, and that's a complete meal or a salad.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a lot. It's just knowing how to do it.
To do it, to balance your way out of it.
Yes, and I think it's important that once we get our students on board, you know, here in the Gambia, it can really help, and the prices will reduce, you know, because we're looking at having our own planes, airplanes, you know, jet planes, where we can bring our own food. Why not? You know, why are we dependent on others, right?
Yeah.
And also, since we're talking about nation building, then perhaps, you know, some of the resources should go to help the farmers to supplement them like they do in other countries. And that way they can provide the food and it can be more accessible. And over time, you know, when you eat better, you're going to think better and things are going to roll.
We do have the Lebanese community here. It's
Okay.
what we've been connected with. They have all the greens, you know, from all over the world.
Okay.
And then, of course, coming from Morocco. So we can work on that, too.
Yeah, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. It
Yes,
just helps to
absolutely.
make life very healthy as well.
That's
But
right.
finally, back again to the relationship aspect before I let you guys go.
Yes.
How can couples and families use faith as a guide to resolve conflict without violence or resentment as well? And now as well, what advice would you have for young people on balancing modern relationships, pressure with spiritual and moral values as well?
Well, just like we have the 10 things, go over those, you know, work with those, massage those in your relationship. And the other thing is, like we learned early, that if you pray together, if you work on common goals together, then that helps to develop your relationship.
God needs to be at the center of whatever it
Absolutely.
is.
It has to be. It has to be.
You know.
And I also think, too, since I've been in the Gambia, I see very few couples actually holding hands. See, in America, we make that a choice, you know. We must do this. And you have to, because it strengthens, and people look at
does.
you differently,
Yeah.
you know, when you hold in hands.
Trust me, in the Gambia, you can't even kiss your husband in the public place.
public.
Not even your wife.
That's
That's
true.
rightfully yours. You're not
Yeah,
stealing.
that's
Kissing your
right.
husband, it looks like you're stealing someone's husband and kissing the person, even holding
Yes.
hands in public.
That's
Well,
right.
I would say most of our men or women are not romantic. I would say, okay, we have maybe, let me say, 38% of our men who are romantic. Well, I know they'll come for me. That
Yes.
might be a low percentage.
Okay.
Right.
But again, it's the kind of society that we find
Yes.
ourselves in. Like you said, when you do certain gestures with your husband or your wife in a public place, people
Yes.
tend to say, "Ki dafa ñàkk jom." Stuff like that. And that's not it. You need to be free to do
And
that.
the children need to see
They
it.
need to see.
Because if they see it, then they will grow up. Because the generation is what makes the life in a society advance. Young people.
And it's not only about relationship as well. Even within parents here and there, you would see, especially in the Gambia, there are so many men or even women that do not have that relationship with their parents, because some of them, all of their life, they have never had their dad say to them, "I love you."
No, that's right.
You know, or "I even appreciate you." Yeah, they might show love in a different way, but
That's
these are
right.
the relationships that are really constrained when it comes to the parental household in the Gambia. So I think that is really a challenge, and that also have an impact on how we grow and how we relate to people as well. Because if you grew up in a compound whereby you have never had your mom or your dad saying "I love you" to each other, or your dad saying "I love you" to you, you are not able to say that to someone
No,
else.
you're not.
Like, it's so hard. For me, I grew up in, my mom and dad, they're still, well, I won't say they're young, I won't say they're old, but still now they call themselves babe. And they still say "I love you" even in front of us. And imagine it's a Saraule house. Well, even though my mom is not, but these are the things that I have grown to see. And for me, saying that it's something very easy. So if you find yourself in a relationship whereby you are not hearing things like that, you tend to wonder, like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Why is it so
Yes,
strange to say
that's
that?
true.
Whilst it is so easy for you to say that, just to build that intimacy between the both of you, because even in the Quran, it is rightfully stated there, you need to be
That's right.
affectionate. It's not all about the financial aspect. Oh, I'm giving money at the end of the day. I'm paying the
Yes.
kids' school fees. I'm providing food here and there. It's beyond that. It takes a lot to build a family.
It's
And I
true.
think that is one thing that people need to understand. That spiritual aspect need to be awakened. Yeah.
And it's not just here in the Gambia. It's also in America.
Yeah.
My mother we didn't start saying we love each other until we were adults.
Oh, wow.
And it's even the same with my children, you know. So I think it's something that happened in our DNA that disconnected us from all of the things, because what other people are doing, we've done it and better. But we've just been stressed in a certain way of life that now we're wakening up and we can see it. So right here today, right here on the Gambian television, we can make it known to the world that we're going to change.
Yeah.
We're going to say, "I love our children, our husband." Say it, "I love you."
I know my son is tired of hearing me say "I love you."
Oh.
Like,
That is
every
beautiful.
single day.
See?
But again, you know, well, we're totally out of time, but you mentioned something. You need to eat healthy so you can say "I love you," so you can have a good relationship with people. You know, when you are happy within yourself, then the people around you can make you happy. But you can't be empty and you expect the people around you to build or to fulfill or to fill in that emptiness. So it takes a lot to attain that kind of self-awareness.
Yes.
Most of the times we are not aware of how our behavior or our attitude affect our relationship with people. I'm not sure people tend to understand that, and that's one thing that we need to understand. But we are totally out of time. I'll just give you each just 1 minute to just say one or two before we let go of you. Just a minute.
Mama?
Yes. You can follow us on Facebook, Spicy Tasty Vegan, the books. You can also go to our YouTube channel. It is Spicy Tasty Vegan Cuisine, as well as we can be contacted at 220-347-7437. Okay.
And I'd like to say, Khadijah, you and Mama Naasira brought out these wonderful things to do. And I just say to our audience, look, fake it until you make it.
Important. You can't be constipated and you're expected to say "I love you" to someone. That's going to be very hard to say.
Come on now.
But thank you both. Thank you both so much for coming through here on the
you.
Good Morning Gambia show. I think this is a very important topic that we need to have. You know, it's not just an occasional topic that we need to discuss, but it needs to be part of our daily routine.